Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Doctor is In. I am Dr. Freddie Gomez, and our goal here on the show is to provide you with the virtual care that you need during this time of COVID 19. Now, the pandemic has greatly impacted our daily lives, and this includes our eating habits. I've heard people saying it's easy to slip into an unhealthy diet when stressed or and anxious. These feelings are common, are very common nowadays. But more than ever, we have to stay healthy. Yan ang importante talaga sa panahon na ito. So, what we eat and drink affects our body's ability to prevent, fight, and recover from any illness. And while a well balanced diet cannot prevent COVID 19 infections, it can level up our immune system or our immune defenses. Now it's time to introduce our guests. Let's welcome on the show Dr. Mia Fojas. She is an endocrinologist and she's also the immediate past president of the Philippine Society of Endocrinology, Diabetes, and Metabolism. Welcome to the show, Dr. Mia.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Freddie, and sa lahat ng mga nanonood.
Yes, today we want to emphasize that good nutrition is vital during the pandemic. And there are a few steps that we can take to adopt a healthier lifestyle. Now, Dr. Mia, a lot of people have heard already that what's important is a healthy diet. Palagi naririnig yun, ano? But could you share with our viewers what exactly consists a quote-unquote healthy diet?
Well, we'd like to also endorse what the Department of Health and the FNRI have been endorsing. So it's really the healthy plate. That's the healthy plate is a 9-inch plate wherein half of that would contain vegetables, one fourth would contain carbohydrate, as much as possible, high fiber carbohydrates. Let's say you can have the sweet potatoes, you can have the brown rice, you can have the quinoa rice. Sometimes the others they forego the carbohydrate part of mostly, like say cauliflower rice or broccoli, whatever. They can have one fourth of that in the 9-inch plate, and the other one fourth would be white meat. So that could consist of fish or chicken breast. So yun yung mainly healthy. Sometimes, of course, they can have red meats also, but limited amounts. And of course, we should not forget about
That's
the
right.
fluids, no? Kailangan may water at least on the side.
Yes, we'll talk more about being hydrated in a bit. But of course, having a healthy eating habit is all about balance, like what you said. No, even those portions. Ang inexplain ni Dr. Mia is maganda po ang balance ng mga portions of different foods, and you can still enjoy your favorite foods. We don't want to deny you of that, of course, But the key to eating them is only once in a while, and balancing them out with healthier choices and more physical activity. So now you can see on your screen options on how you can maintain a balanced diet. So on the screen, you could see some keywords there, like limitation of dairy products, limitation of sugars. Also, moderation is definitely important in this case. And also, we want to emphasize, make the viewers remember that a well balanced diet builds a stronger immune system. So now it's time to answer some questions from our viewers. We have a question from Joanne. Ang tanong ni Joanne, can a plant-based lifestyle be a good solution to an unhealthy diet? What do you think, Dr. Mia?
It is really not a solution, it's a lifestyle, no? So plant-based diet is very healthy for as long as you know that you are not missing some of the micronutrients, vitamins, and some minerals, because um, a con or negative part of doing plant-based diet is that you might miss some of the vitamin B complexes that are present in animal protein. That's why we have to make sure that we get all of those things covered. Meron kasing recommended talaga na nutrients na dapat nating natitake every day that you might miss in some plants as well. So it is definitely healthy. You have a lot of antioxidants coming from plants, but remember that you might miss some of the nutrients that our body needs.
Dr. Mia, a follow-up question dun sa tanong ni Joanne, ano, as a metabolism expert, whenever I hear the word diet, I automatically think of something na parang short term, parang kailangan kong pumayat for this event, therefore magda-diet ako or I will go on this diet. In general, do you think diets are the way to go when you're trying to become healthy?
Yeah, they said that it's actually 90% diet and 10% exercise, but it's a matter of balancing both. What activities do you actually do per day? No? So, um, when you say diet, it doesn't mean that it's a negative thing. So it's your everyday food intake. It's whatever it is on your plate. A diet can be healthy or unhealthy. So it's whatever you've been taking every day. So it's a matter of balancing everything from your intake and output. But of course, we're doctors here, and then we have to rule out some metabolic abnormalities as well for some patients. So it's not the cajon thing, no? It's not one size fits all. Not a lot of diets, especially the fad diets, no? Not all fad diets can be successful for some patients, but in other patients, they can be, for those who need to lose weight, it can be successful for some, but not for all.
Okay, very well. Meron tayong isa pang tanong galing kay Martin. Ang tanong niya, does buying locally grown vegetables lessen the chance of COVID-19 infection?
Whether or not locally grown, if you have vegetables, it might prevent the chance. Well, you just have to stay healthy, no? So, and aside from that, there's a thing na where do you get all those vitamin C and zinc, no? So sometimes ngayon people are running out of vitamin C and some zinc. Yeah, as a matter of fact, you can get a lot of vitamin C from your bell peppers, from guava, not just the citrus fruits, and some zinc from all your you have your let's say sorry, you have the seafood as well, and you don't have to really rely on some of the vitamins that you'd buy over the counter, because you can actually get these things, the vitamins and minerals, from the food that you have been taking, not just locally grown products, no? But it will really help financially if you would like to grow some of them in your backyard, so that would be great also.
Okay, very well said. Now let's take a quick break. When we return, we'll explain what having a good routine when it comes to eating is very helpful for your overall health. Stay tuned to the Doctor Is In. Hello and welcome back to The Doctor is In. I'm Dr. Freddie Gomez, and we designed this program especially for you, our viewers. So if you have any questions, please send them our way via the CNN Philippines Facebook page, and we'll be able to answer them as much as we can. Okay, so earlier we discussed how to achieve a well balanced diet, and this is essential to support our immune system against COVID-19 infections. But when we eat,
via Fojas. The quarantine restrictions can throw us off our schedule. Marami sa atin ang minsan hindi na nagigising, may wake up later, eat breakfast later, and maintaining a healthy lifestyle should include eating on time. So Dr. Mia, my question is, why is it very important to maintain an eating schedule?
It's basically it also depends on your activities, no, but mainly our hormones, our stress hormones are affected by our different schedules. Okay, so halimbawa when ordinarily at night we're supposed to be resting, so you don't really consume a lot of calories while sleeping. Well, you do consume just a little calories, but just not a lot, no. So that's why it's very important that when you eat, you make sure that you eat that at a certain time wherein you're looking forward to more activities for the day. So ordinarily for those who are not working in a shift, evening shift, no, that's in the morning, and then you do your activities for the rest of the day, and then you sleep at night, and then that means that at night, so you tend to eat less na kasi hindi mo na rin mababurn yun. Otherwise, if you eat a lot, madedeposit lang siya as fat. So you are eating for your energy consumption. If you do not consume the energy, it will just be stored there as fat, and then you'll tend to gain weight. So that's what happens. And when you gain weight and when you become obese or overweight, that decreases your immune response as well. And you are also at high risk for all of these cancers and infections.
That's right. And what's also important is there shouldn't be any skipping of meals. So everyone must stay on schedule when it comes to having nutrition fed into their body, because consuming your meals and snacks on a regular schedule can help keep your digestive system also in top shape. So when you don't eat at consistent times each day, it can cause your stomach to sort of overwork, resulting in feelings of bloatedness and indigestion as well. And so now that we know na dapat may important schedule tayo dapat when it comes to our meals, Dr. Mia, my next question is, what is the healthiest eating schedule? Kailan ba dapat yung kumbaga pagitan ng bawat meal, ilang meal sa isang araw ang pinakamaganda?
Well, it really depends on the person's activities. Yeah, other people engage in intermittent fasting. I think you're going to go to that anyway. So let's talk about it. Intermittent fasting. So it depends on the person's activities. Let's say they consume a certain amount of calories for the first 8 hours and for only 8 hours, and then they don't really do a lot of stuff for the subsequent hours, so they don't need to eat a lot. So there's no fixed rule that you have to eat 3 square meals a day, for as long as you're eating and then consuming the calories from what you've eaten, and then you make sure that you don't have hypoglycemic symptoms, that you have some amount of calories during the resting period. That's okay. It doesn't matter how many times a day that you eat, whether once, twice, or 3 times a day, or as long as you know that you will be expending calories or using the calories that you ate for energy consumption. So how do you know that you are consuming enough? No, that depends on the activity. For an ordinary human being on sedentary lifestyle, yung medyo nakaupo lang, lakad-lakad, office work, no? So ordinarily, how many calories do you consume in the day, like that? So as much as 1,200 calories per day ang intake mo. That's more than enough already for 50-pound human being. Sorry, yeah, 50 kilo, no, not 50 pounds, 50 kilogram human being, or a 60 kilogram male, 1,600 kilocalories per day. So depende yon talaga sa activities nyo. If somebody engages in more how should I say this? Energy consuming activities, like if you go out there carrying heavy stuff, heavy load, no, mabibigat. So you can consume as much as 2,000 to 2,500 kilocalories for as long as you know that you are using the energy that you have been consuming. And remember that if you consume a lot of fat and carbohydrates, remember that fat gets deposited as source of energy later on if you do not have enough carbohydrates to burn or glucose to burn at that. So you have to balance things out. No? So as much as possible, we do not how should I say this? We do not encourage sticking to one type of nutrient, no? So macro molecule, no, we don't concentrate on sige dapat protein lang or fat lang or carbohydrates lang, because eventually you get to consume or you get to need all of those in your body.
That's right. So, ganun ka, for our viewers' sake, what Dr. Mia was trying to emphasize is very varied po, depending on the activity level ng tao, ang kanyang nutrient intake. So, but in general, having a regular eating schedule can help prevent several things. One of those is overeating, and it can also improve our digestive health as well. And I'd like to touch on something that we touched on earlier, Dr. Mia, and that was how to keep hydrated, or the importance of keeping hydrated, because we have to emphasize that keeping hydrated throughout the day has its many benefits as well. And to our viewers, when I say hydrated, hindi ito yung iinom lang ng tubig or ng fluids kapag nauuhaw, because once na naramdaman yung nauuhaw kayo, medyo too late na yon. So medyo may pagka-dehydrated na po kayo nun. So Dr. Mia, can you share with us some of the benefits of staying hydrated?
Well, for example, right now, no, marami kasing nahihilo na because of dehydration, no? Tumataas ang blood pressure nila. It's very important that you hydrate yourselves because the bodily functions rely a lot on water, no? And also, it will improve blood flow to your kidneys, to the heart especially, and also may requirements yan, no? So 2.7 liters a day for females and about 3.7 liters a day for males. Why? Because the more muscles that you have, the more that you move, the more fluids that your body or that your cells consume in it. Yung mga energy consumption sa what your bodily processes would need water every time to produce energy, no? So kailangan yan for blood flow and to improve your immune system, ganon. So we're not just talking about water here, any kind of fluid. But remember to stay away from sugar-containing fluids as well, kasi nakakataas po siya ng sugar and calories. Also, if you remain hydrated, especially for those diabetics, no, it helps decrease your sugar when you remain hydrated.
Very good, very well. Thank you very much, Dr. Mia Fojas, for joining us on the show and for sharing your insights on how to stay healthy in this time of a pandemic.
Thank you.
And I'd like to remind the audience as well that maintaining a healthy lifestyle builds a strong immune system to fight COVID-19. When we come back, our lives have been on hold for quite a while, and going to restaurants has been limited. In fact, ngayon lang ulit nag-uumpisa ulit na pwedeng lumabas at kumain sa mga restaurants. So, what are the safety protocols when going out to eat? Let's take a closer look. When we return, stay tuned to The Doctor Is In. Hello everyone, and we're glad you could join us today. You're watching The Doctor is In. Now, as restaurants begin to reopen, it's important to realize that being in enclosed places in general increases the risk of exposure to COVID 19. There are measures that should be taken to ensure your safety and for those around you. Whatever it is that you're doing inside the buildings or restaurants or public places in general. Now, to help us understand this topic, we have with us Dr. Karin Garcia. She is a family medicine specialist and vice president of the Philippine Academy of Family Physicians. Welcome to the show, Dr. Karin.
Good afternoon, Dr. Freddie, and good afternoon to all your televiewers.
We know that the public health measures include wearing a mask and practicing social distancing. Yun palaging aming sinasabi, ano? But what are other steps that can be taken to practice good personal hygiene, specifically when dining out?
Yes. Dr. Freddie, what a timely question. When we're talking about good personal hygiene, it should encompass steps before going to the establishment and during your dining experience. Okay, so how do we go about this? No, so for before going to restaurants or establishments, we can actually check the restaurant's website or social media and to see if they have updated, their information to address COVID-19. Okay, we can call and ask. Okay, because I'm sure restaurants now have different, they have safety measures in place. Okay, and for restaurants with no parking, they do valet. Maybe we can also ask about options for self parking, and that's for before you go to the establishment. But during the dining experience, okay, so it's really advisable to still wear your mask if you could. Okay, so maintain social distancing with each other. That's good personal hygiene, at least 6 feet apart. And when possible, if there's option for outdoor dining experience, then we can actually opt for that. Okay, so and if possible, choose food or drink options that are not self-serving. Yung mga limit natin yung pag-use sana ng mga shared serving utensils. I'm talking also about handles and touch screens. And most important, yung washing of the hands for all. Okay, before you leave your place and in the restaurant itself, before you exit, please wash your hands. And in using the restrooms, make sure that there is adequate supply of soap and water. Sana in place siya, or at least hand sanitizers. Okay, so I think those are the practical steps or good practice hygiene nowadays.
All right. So, pagdating naman sa mga take-out food, very, very briefly, Dr. Karen, how should people handle yung mga deliveries or take-outs or yung pag-order ng pagkain?
Okay. So it's really advisable to limit in-person contact if possible. So if there are options for pay online or yung meron na ngayon yung mga mobile payment system in place, then we can use that to pay for the food that we eat. And if possible, when we accept deliveries, okay, there's a certain place in our house or in a porch or in the lobby of residential condominiums where they can actually place the food packages that you deliver kung kaya. But kung hindi, at least maintain safe distance with the courier, the one who will deliver the food, and immediately wash your hands after handling the food packages.
Okay, very, very good information for that. Thank you very much, Dr. Karen, for your time and expertise with regards to this topic.
Okay, thank you too.
And thank you everyone also for sending in your questions. Please do join us again tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. here on The Doctor is In. I'm Dr. Freddie Gomez. Stay safe, everyone.